Hello and welcome to the Feminine as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Monica Yates, a period and women's life coach, where I help women to harness the power of their period and connect back to their true superpowers. In these episodes, we'll be talking about all things periods, vaginas, hormones, women's health, sex, confidence, food, femininity, and all the stuff that goes through our heads. You will walk away from each episode with new nuggets and truth bombs, as I don't seem to have a filter and I love talking about all the shit that people are too afraid to say, but everyone is thinking. Hello ladies, welcome back. I'm so excited to be back. I haven't podcasted in a while. I was planning to earlier the week and then I had a sore throat and now I've got this kind of cold. So please excuse that. It's actually as a result of doing some energy clearing on myself. I was having an amazing session with my kinesiologist, who's incredible. If anybody lives in Melbourne, her Instagram page is Eastern Holistic Healing. And her Instagram page, did I say Instagram? I don't know. Anyway, she's incredible. She's taught me a lot. And we actually released the trauma that was still in my body in regards to my ski accident. Now, if you don't know about my ski accident, I'm putting together a YouTube video for it. And when I was actually filming that YouTube video, because I know I said on my other podcast I was going to do a podcast on it, but I've decided to do a YouTube because it was just like easier in terms of like you guys could see my leg and it would be a little more engaging. But I might even just put the audio as a podcast actually for like a bonus thing if people want to listen to it. But I was actually doing the YouTube video and talking about it, and my whole body was being triggered. And I was like, fuck, I haven't let it go. Like I thought in my brain I'd let it go, but my body hadn't let it go. The trauma was still there. And it was a really incredible session I did with her. And then since then, I've had a sore throat and now I've got this random cold. But I'm feeling fucking amazing. I've had a really good start to my Monday morning. I did a fab session with a client and we just did a big clear. She's one of my clients that's also doing her own coaching business and she's just starting up as well. And I'm just noticing more and more this continuing pattern. Hence, I wanted to do this podcast episode. So the podcast episode today, we're going to be touching on, really diving into understanding how your body and your past traumas and stuff affects you in your business. And the blocks that keep showing up in your business are going to stop you from massive growth. And I've realized this for myself, but then also I keep picking it up on I've got quite a few clients, I think about 5 now, that are coaches that want to be that are new coaches that want to grow their businesses. And then the rest of my women are just, actually quite a few of them now, like I actually want to be a coach now since doing their own work. Anyway, whatever. Point being is I keep picking up the same fucking pattern of when you are blocked, your whole life is blocked. When you are blocked, you are stuck. You are lost. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. And everything just starts to like, shit hits the fan basically. And, hence, I've now birthed this fucking epic new academy into the world. That's literally, I pulled it out of my ass in the past week. I've been it's funny, it's been marinating for a while in terms of I wanted to do something with helping new coaches become coaches because have a 5-figure monthly business sort of thing. That was so not the right English, but whatever. Because I wish I kind of had that in the beginning and I didn't really know who to turn to. So that's what I'm now offering as part of one of my packages and stuff. And this Badass Bitches Academy is all about that, basically. So what I really noticed in terms of trauma, and I did an Instagram live on this the other day, but I'm going to blab on about it again now, is that trauma, I was talking about it with my mastermind girls last week. And the thing with trauma is we have this idea, this preconceived idea that trauma equals something huge. Trauma equals you saw a murder or you were raped or something horrendous that happened. No. All trauma is energy that's stuck in your body. That's all it is. So it can be a ski accident, for example. It could be bullying at school. It could be your mum saying, no, I don't have time for you right now, when she really was just busy on a phone call, but you took it as she doesn't want you, she doesn't love you, you're worthy, you're not worthy. That's how you could have taken it. Any trauma is just energy stuck in the body that hasn't been cleared. And the thing is that if you don't clear this energy, if you don't release these blockages, every single time you are in a situation where your subconscious thinks the same thing is happening again or something similar is happening or you're being triggered, your body responds as though the violation is happening again and again. And it will really fucking disrupt your life, okay? So basically, also I've noticed in my podcast that I say okay so much. So I'm going to really stop trying to say okay because I'm okay, every 10 seconds. I'm shut the fuck up, Monica. Anyway, so what I was talking about on my Instagram live was that, even for example, let's use the example I was using is a really basic example was when you're a little kid, girl, for example, you might have made your mum a birthday cake and you put all the effort in, you made a birthday cake and it obviously probably looked crap and tasted like shit, but that didn't matter because it's the thought that counted, right? Like, and you were just trying, and you walked into her office or wherever and you were like, Mummy, I made you a birthday cake. And she was like, I don't have time for you, Monica, go away. But she didn't mean you aren't worthy, I don't love you, blah, blah, blah. She just meant I'm on a business phone call right now. Like, can you please fuck off? And you took it as I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, my mum doesn't love me. I've put the effort in and I didn't get any love in return. So what could then happen down the track is that if you are in any sort of relationship where you need to put effort in, you can't, because your whole body responds as though that same violation is happening 10 or 20 years beforehand, but it's not. The thing is, your brain knows that it's not, but your body doesn't. And this is why I'm so passionate in my work in really combining the brain and body stuff together. So going to the energy healers is fantastic. Going to therapists is fantastic, but there's nothing that's combining the two. So that's where my work comes in, and other people that do similar stuff to me. We are using your brain and your body. So of course we talk about things, we need to recognize what the blockages are, where they came from, and then like sort of dissect them. But once you've dissected them, we can't just leave it there and be like, okay, now just change. Like, that's all well and good, but if you haven't released the trauma, you can't change. You might in the short, what the fuck was that? You might in the short term be able to quote unquote change, but it won't be sustainable. And I'm all about sustainable growth, like all about sustainable growth, because I don't believe in quick fixes. And I don't believe that you need to continuously be like staying on top of this shit so it doesn't come and bite you in the ass. No. So I've had like quite a few traumas in my life, and the girls in my masterminds and my clients know about some of the really big ones. But basically, I was in situations, and then after these traumas, I would continue to, my body would continue to react as though the violation was occurring. And it was actually really holding me back in relationships because I wasn't allowing myself to be fully expressed and fully, be in my feminine, because I had this fucking huge masculine shell up. So I wasn't embodied. I wasn't, in my womb wisdom. Everything was blocked in my vessel. Everything was blocked. And the point that I'm harping on about this is that all of these blockages, whether they're money blocks, whether they're confidence blocks, whether they are self-worthiness blocks, whatever blocks they are, if you don't clear them so you have a clear fucking vessel, your body will not be able to attract and receive the life that you want. Whether that means clients, whether that means sales in your business, whether that means the man of your dreams. If your body is blocked and your vessel is not clear, it does not have the space to attract and then receive what you have attracted. So even you might be able to attract it, but you won't be able to receive it. For example, a classic case with coaches is like they can attract all the clients to come for their discovery calls, but as soon as it comes to telling you about their prices or really getting embodied in their work, they can't do it because they're blocked. And then the client doesn't sign up for them. Or they feel like they're on the coaching call because they have signed the client, like somehow they sign the client, which is fab, and they're on the calls and they don't feel like they can fully express themselves, they're fully embodied in their work, so therefore they don't feel like they're giving full value to their clients. Now, that is a block for both parties, right? Because they then get off the client call, like with the call with the client being like, fuck, I don't feel like they're getting all the value that I could offer them. But they're too afraid to step into their full confidence. And it's all because of these childhood wounds, these childhood traumas. And sometimes it's not even childhood, it's things that's happened later, or it's just like this social conditioning where we are programmed to believe X, Y, and Z because of society, and it really blocks us. Classic one is like the standard of beauty for women, and it continuously blocks us from achieving the life we want. And not just blocks us in our head, because we can say to ourselves, no, I deserve it, I deserve it. It blocks our body. So as though we tell ourselves, I love ourselves, I'm confident, I deserve this. If your body doesn't believe it, nothing will fucking change. And that is the biggest shift. You can hire the business coach, you can hire the strategy coach, but if your body is blocked, no amount of sales script or Instagram, this is the equation, that shit isn't going to work, and it's not going to attract the right clients because your body is blocked. So without getting too much on of a rant of it, because you might have seen my Instagram story, and if you're in my mastermind and stuff, we talk a lot about trauma and whatever, it's really, really important for you to understand that any blocks that you've got in your body, and they're there, you absolutely know they're there, and one really good way to know that they're there is if this is triggering you in any way, or if any of my other podcasts is triggering you in any way, triggering in terms of like, you're like, fuck this bitch, I don't like what she's saying, or like, I don't agree with her and you're getting really defensive, or you just like don't want to listen to me, or like, for example, like with my money one that I did about investing in yourself, if you're like, this bitch is just fucking greedy, if anything like that, then that's triggering you. Here's a classic example. So and what I was saying is like those triggers are your doorway, your invitation to explore that, because your body's being blocked from what you truly want and you're not able to fully attract and live that high vibration. And it's so funny how when I clear these blocks with clients, and it's them clearing it, like it's me guiding and them clearing. And when I clear it with them, it's fucking insane the messages I get. Like, let me go on my phone right now. So like I was talking to one client this morning, and like we cleared a lot of shit for her in our first session. Like she was like, fuck, I cannot believe that was our first session and we got that far. And like even one of the girls in my mastermind, you know, we had our first one-on-one 90-minute call, and she was like, you're not going to be able to crack me, like blah, blah, blah. And I cracked her, and she was like, what the fuck? And it just really enables you to open your vessel to like what is possible for you. But like one of my clients this morning, so many synchronicities, right? Like she said, so I was eating, well, this is what she messaged me. Like she was eating a chocolate when a hair got in my mouth and I pulled it out, my own curly hair, of course. Then 2 seconds later, I see in the next bit of chocolate I was going to eat, there was a hair there. It wasn't mine. It must have happened in production. And I was like, what the fuck? How did I just get that warning to stop? And then notice like, surely that wasn't a coincidence. Of course that wasn't a coincidence. That was a synchronicity of the universe literally giving you like the warning sign of like, you're about to eat a fucking piece of chocolate with hair in it. Anyway, and she's like, there's been really big synchronicities though. Like my relationship with X is changing. Opportunities keep coming up to push me out of my comfort zone, and I'm smashing it. Like I went rock climbing on Saturday, and I'm very exercise adverse. And then 2 more happened, and she posted on my Mondays with Monica Instagram thing where I do Q&As. She posted a question about low estrogen, and then she decided to listen to my YouTube while making food instead of watching Netflix, and came across my low estrogen video. And she was like, your first recommendation is maca powder. I literally picked up a pack of maca powder in the shop yesterday and went, something about this is calling me. I'll stay tuned for this. And then I decided to make gluten-free hot cross buns the other day. Freaking like the same day or next day, I discovered your recipes on your site, and bam, there's a hot cross bun one. And then, anyway, and all these other ones. And like some of my other clients, like once I clear them, then they're like fully embodied and they're feminine, and then their husband's finally taking like responsibility in the house and being the man of the house and like disciplining the kids and making dinner. And meanwhile, she's having a bath with fucking rose petals. And there's just so many of these, and like even other women like stepping into their power, and then, you know, getting clients or money coming through the door, having spare money that they don't normally have. Just so many different synchronicities. And it's not because of anything. It's not like this is weird or wacky. It's actually because once your vessel is clear, then you can be operating at a high vibrational frequency. And once you're at that high vibrational frequency, more amazing shit happens in your life, because the universe delivers. And the universe is always delivering to us, and this higher power is so incredible. Classic one for me this morning, literally like 30 minutes before I filmed this episode, was like, I wrote in my manifestations book, which I write like 3 manifestations and 3 things I'm grateful for every morning. Would highly recommend you guys to all do that as well. And I wrote down, one of my things that I wrote down was, let me just read it. So I was talking about grateful about the women that have already signed up at my Badass Bitches Academy, my next mastermind. And then I said, I'm also manifesting amazing, abundant flights to Europe and an incredible Europe trip, because I'm going to go to work in Europe for a month. Literally, I've got my cousin's wedding there. And I have since it was since doing that podcast about, my daughter slammed. Since doing that podcast about investing in money and whatever, and me being like, it's come back to like 6-fold or like whatever, and like it's going to come back. I'm now doing this episode, and this could trigger you warning. So listen out if this does trigger you, because that is again an invitation, an opportunity for you to explore this further and really look into your money mindset stuff. But I think it was on like the 2nd or 3rd of February, I did my accounts, and for this year, I had made over $18,500 in just over a month, which actually, majority of that came once I booked in my business coach. Actually, in the time frame I booked my business coach to that, I would have made about $15,000, which blows my mind, because I have not even been in business for a year yet, like properly in business. I've quote unquote had my business for like longer, but I actually properly started doing fucking shit about middle of last year, when I really was like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing this properly. And that's where I really got clarity around everything, and that everything started to flow for me, because I actually was much more tapped into my feminine, and I like hit rock bottom, and then sort of like monetarily rock bottom, and then had this clarity moment of like, stop pushing, let's surrender. I have to trust. There's no other option here. I have to trust. And then everything started flowing. And since then, I've now had my first way over 10K month, and it's been not even 6 months in my business, which is, no, it has been 6 months. It's been like my seventh month of business, which is mind blowing, right? Anyway, and so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I wrote down about this. So I'm planning on going to Europe for a month before my cousin's wedding because I'm like, yes, I deserve it. I have got like abundance. It's going to raise my vibration even more. I can work from there, which is incredible. I can do my client calls from there, which is also going to give high vibes to the women on my Badass Bitches Academy, to help them also increase their vibration. So I'm doing it really consciously for a purpose for myself, for my business, but also for the women that I'm working with to help raise their vibration and their frequency so they can attract more clients, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm also here to help raise your vibrations and your frequencies. And you probably get your vibe raised just by listening to me now, because my vibe is so raised, and that's just the energy that we give off, because we are all a collective and we are all connected. So hence why when you're working with people that are very high vibrational frequencies, it also raises your vibe. So it's really important to also tune into energies and stuff when you're getting on discovery calls with coaches, clients, therapists, that sort of stuff, to be like, what's their vibe like? Because you are going to be sucked into their vibe in a good or bad way. Anyway, so I said I was like booking my flights this morning to Europe, and I wrote down in my manifestation book of like, I'm manifesting amazing, abundant flights to Europe. And then I was booking my flights, and this message came up saying, hold on, I actually put it on my Instagram story. I can't remember exactly what it said, so just give me a second. I'm going to look for it. Let me find it. Oh yeah, so it said, so great news, your flights just got cheaper. You have saved Australian $39.99 due to an unexpected update in the fare or tax calculation for your ticket. Now, let me just preface by saying, before I got on with my client this morning, which was about an hour and a half before this, I had already pulled up this flight on my desktop, but I didn't have time to book it. And it said that I had saved like $1 something, like, oh, great. Like, but still abundance, that's fantastic. I was so grateful for that. I'm like, yay, abundance. Every single thing counts, because if you continue to be appreciative for every little bit of money, it shows that you like respect money and that you value every bit. And then I fucking write this in my manifestation book as I'm doing a dance around my room, high vibes, I'm having a massive sing. If you saw my Instagram story this morning, it's the 11th of February. If you saw my Instagram this morning, you would have seen how high vibe I am. And then I just saved $40, which is incredible. Like, that's a lot of Orchard Street lattes, one. But also more than that, it's just showing that that when you're in that high vibrational state, you'll continue to attract more. But more than that, you can only get into that high vibrational state when your vessel is clear. If your brain is like, yeah, like mantra, like money flows easily to me, but your body is blocked, it's not going to happen. It's so important that your vessel is clear and that you are fully embodying the message and the work that you are giving out. And if you're not fully embodied in that, jack shit is going to happen. So, with that, basically, hence the trauma. So what I've basically now putting together is my Badass Bitches Academy, which I'm so fucking excited about, because it is combining, and the link's going to be in the description. It is combining my, all this work that I finally had this download about, that as soon as I cleared my vessel, as soon as I was so fucking embodied in my work, as soon as my mindset was my money mindset was so like amazing, like now I just have no money blocks whatsoever. I have no confidence blocks. I have no self-belief blocks. I am like, of course my ego sometimes jumps in. Of course, that's just called human nature and having an ego. But I am so fucking like yes to all of this stuff and so embodied. And every sales call I get on, I am like, yes, 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 yes. And then even if they're like, no, it's funny because I was no before they said no, before they were like, oh, I've got to check my accounts. And I coached them through that with their money mindset. And then I just knew like, they don't want to do it. That's fine. Goodbye. Because it wasn't a fit for me. But then 2 seconds later, I get a client that is a fit for me. Like, not even joking. This happens to me all the time because my vessel is clear and I'm so embodied in this work. And I know my value and I have no blocks around my offerings or limiting beliefs or anything like that. And as a result of that, I've had the most abundant first month of the year of 2019, and I have no doubt that I'll hit my 6-figure goal by the time I'm sitting in Europe drinking champagne on the Amalfi Coast. I just fucking know it. Or somewhere in the coast of Italy. But FYI, if you've got any really great places on the coast of Italy or Croatia or even Greece, I'm happy to fly from like Milan to Greece. Please send me them in an email or a DM or whatever, because I need suggestions of like places that have good Wi-Fi, right? Like on the coast, because I obviously need to be doing all my work. So I cannot have a Wi-Fi issue or I'll have a fucking meltdown because Wi-Fi is like stressful as shit. Anyway, so that's what I want to explain to you ladies about trauma and the blockages in your body, that it's so important. So the Badass Bitches Academy, sorry, I'm going around in circles. The Badass Bitches Academy, basically I'm combining the stuff about like releasing the blockages, releasing the trauma, stepping into your full power, owning your authenticity, getting rid of the limiting beliefs, reprogramming your brain. Because if your brain is programmed with limiting beliefs and stuff, you manifest from your subconscious brain. And if you get on a sales call and your subconscious brain is like saying all these messages that you don't even consciously know they're there, but they're saying them and they're putting them out there, it will block you. So that's why the subconscious work and getting really, really fucking deep is so important, because if you don't get into that deep shit, you will be blocked without you even consciously knowing. Okay, so if you feel like you get the clients on the discovery call and then you can't book them, this course is for you. If you feel like sometimes you hold back online with clients because you're afraid of stepping into your power and you're triggered a bit, that is you. If your inner bitch gets pretty fucking loud in your head and then it stops you from doing business to the extent that you want to do it, this is also for you. If you're struggling to manifest the life of your dreams, this is for you. If you're struggling to step into your full confidence and this is ultimately slowing down your business, this is for you. Basically, what's really important to understand is that if you are not fully embodied and in alignment, then you will struggle with sales, you will struggle with speaking your truth, being confident and powerful, with receiving money and asking for money, using your intuition to call in clients and calling clients out on their shit. You will not be marinating in your creative flow, and as a result, you won't feel safe in your life. That is the bottom line. It is so important that this work of where you really allow yourself to reprogram your brain, you awaken your inner goddess, you understand the womb wisdom within you, and you do all of the womb clearing stuff, and you're really embodied in your feminine creative energy. Then after you do all that stuff, plus like things like orgasmic manifestation, working with the moon, working with your cycle, all that jazz, releasing the trauma and all that crap, once you have that, then you can jump into the business coaching stuff. So what this Badass Bitches Academy actually is we clear all of the stuff first. We do all the subconscious reprogramming. We do the orgasmic manifestation, and yes, it is as good as it sounds. We do the awakening of your inner goddess. We release the trauma and crap from your vessel. We do the womb awakening and clearing so that you can be fully embodied in your feminine. We do all the stuff about working with your cycle and biohacking your cycle for business growth. And we do all the moon stuff and manifesting with the moon, all that jazz. We work with astrology and we work with your Enneagram and all that jazz to make sure that your business and your life is as integrated as possible. And once we do that, then we jump into how to do the sales calls, how to sit in your power, how to effectively communicate with your clients, how to actually bring in clients, how to do your Instagram, how to do sales, how to do your website, how to get your copyright, how to grow your business, all of that shit, that business stuff, we do in that, and we combine the two, which is where the power lies, yeah? Because there's no point doing the business coaching stuff if you're not embodied in it. You will literally be not allowing yourself to have the full growth, or you will still be pushing, and that is not enjoyable and it's not sustainable. So basically, I'm combining all of my coaching, feminine as fuck stuff. I'm combining basically the feminine as fuck sort of program, but to another level. So this is really for the women that are super effing ready. I'm combining that amazing mastermind with us. It's a longer version, more in depth, so we go even deeper, and it's for women that want to create their own businesses, want to have that coaching business, want to have those 5-figure months, want to sit on the coast of Italy and drink champagne whilst they're doing client calls, I mapped out my year this year, and I'm literally traveling, I think I've got 3 or 4 long haul trips. I'm going to New York next week. Oh my God, I'm so fucking excited. Sorry, I was just screaming at the thing. But I'm going to New York next week and I'm so fucking excited because it's my soul home. And I'll be doing so many fucking podcasts from there, guys, so that you get all my high vibes from there. And then I've got LA, and then we're going to go to Lake Tahoe, and we're going all bougie and staying in the Grand Marriott. And if this is triggering you, then this is your invitation. But we're doing it because we fucking have worked for it, and it's going to raise our vibe and life is short and why the fuck not, and money flows, you know? So as we spend money on the Marriott, like, you know, with the fucking amazing lobby and fancy beds and big sexy ass fireplaces, more money's going to come in. So it's really about also sitting in those environments that allow you to raise your vibrations. This podcast kind of is a bit about everything. I'm just going on this massive Monday Monica ramble, which is fab. So, and then like I come home, then I have to fly to Melbourne for another operation on my leg. And then after that, I'll be going to Europe. I kind of want to fit a Byron trip in there somewhere, just go stay in Byron for a week in a beautiful house and also do coaching from there. And then after Europe, then I'm going to fly back to New York to do some talks there. And then at the end of the year, I'm moving to New York. Well, that's what I'm manifesting anyway. You know, of course, if it's in flow and it feels right, and if it doesn't feel right at that time, there's no pressure, of course. Like, I'm doing it at the right time. There's no like, oh my God, if I don't move to New York at the end of the year, then I'm a failure. No, it's actually about what feels good in the moment. And currently I'm manifesting that because that's what feels really good to me. But you're allowed to change your manifestations as you go. Anyway, so lots of amazing things happening this year with work, and I just want to be able to help other women do the same thing and have this freedom and have this abundance. And I cannot believe that I've done this in literally 7, maybe 8 months. Like, it blows my mind in the best fucking way. And I'm just so excited to be able to have other women be doing such similar things to me. Because as one person heals, we all heal. We are a collective. So as I work on my business, as I help other women work on their business, it's going to have that ripple effect of helping more women in the world step into their power. And it's just going to help with everything. So anyway, what else was I going to talk about? So it's more like, basically today's episode was like just about clearing the trauma. So I want you to just a little quick recap, understanding that if you have any trauma, any blockages in your body, if I trigger you with any of my Instagram posts, I do a good job of triggering people. If I trigger you with any of my Instagram posts, any of my podcasts, any of my stories, or if you know me and I trigger you in person, that is your invitation to explore that. Like, why is this triggering me? What's the block in my body? Because it's telling you there's something there that you need to explore. And once you release that, then you'll be bringing in all the high vibes, all the money, all the abundance, all the travel, all the things that you want. And you don't have to want a bougie life. You don't have to want to, you know, go and work from the plaza in New York City, or you don't have to be wanting to drink champagne on the Amalfi Coast. That's not what I'm saying. Like, that's just for me, what serves me. And I really fucking enjoy that shit. And that's sort of the life that I would like to live for myself. You know, I've done the not having that life, and I would really like to live that. And to me, that's a sign that I am making a big impact in the world. And the thing is that, like, it's not like, you know, I'm overcharging people or something like that, and that's how I'm making money. It's actually the value that I give. Remember this, ladies, if you're a coach, that when you put a price on your packages, it is not, and even for clients, right? The price that coaches charge is not a per session price. You don't charge per session, because it's not about that 1 hour that you spend with them that's changing their life. It's the full 3 months that somebody spends with me one-on-one. That is what they're paying for. And they're not paying for like talking to me. They're paying for the results that they are getting at the end. They are paying for that change in their life. And I know my value. And because I'm so embodied in that and I've done so much work on that, that's how I actually can sit in this really happy situation of like, what I charge my clients is actually so yes. It just is like, so I look at that price and I just feel like, yes, there is no iffiness. There is no about it. If I was charging maybe like, you know, like a ton more, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I don't feel good about that in this current moment. But because of the change that I give to that I help my clients get, and the results that I get my clients and I help them get, and all of that, the abundance that they then bring into their lives in every possible way, I know that what I'm charging is of value and is like, I'm worthy of that, and that my work is reflective of that money like thing. I know the word money like fucking freaks people out, but money. Anyway, so when I, you know, am making my, you know, like $18,000 and it's been like, and it's only the 2nd of February or whatever, that to me is like, wow, I'm actually serving that many women and I'm changing that many lives in that much of a massive way. And that just makes me just blow up with happiness, because there is nothing more fulfilling than getting messages from my clients after 1 or 2 sessions, often 1, being mind blown of the change already. It just makes me so fucking happy. Anyway, so if you have not cleared your trauma, if you've not cleared your shit, if you want to clear your vessel and really fucking get the business and the life that you want, then I am inviting you to click that link in my description and book in a discovery call even if this episode's calling you. Listen to that womb. Listen to your womb wisdom. Listen to your intuition, because she knows everything a million times more than your brain does. Her power is so fucking great that it's mind-boggling. We talk about this a lot in the masterminds as well, on the academy, that really tuning into your feminine womb power is the most powerful thing that we have as a woman, and it's so fucking incredible. So tune into that. If she's like got a little bit of an inkling, I really invite you to take the opportunity to click the link and maybe book in a discovery call if you feel the pull, because to be really honest, I don't actually know if I'll do it for a second round. I mean, like, I'm assuming I will because it's going to be fucking epic, but who knows? You know, I could have a new download of something new I want to offer you guys, and therefore I won't do the second round. So if you're feeling the inkling, let's do it, babe. I'm so excited to welcome you into it. I'm excited to chat to you. But if you don't, there's no hard feelings. I'm still going to be here talking to you every week about amazing, epic shit. And I still am inviting you to just dig a little bit deeper about what the trauma is and what those blockages are in your body, and to clear them so that you can actually invite the abundance in. And key note here is you can't clear them just on your own, because you can't see your own shadows. You can't see your own shit. You need, whether it's a great therapist, often therapists don't do clearing stuff, an energy healer, like I was saying before, unless they use your brain where you can acknowledge what it is and figure it out first. If they're just like, you know, like doing an energy clearing thing and you're not consciously also making a brain body connection, for majority of people, it doesn't work as well and they have to keep getting clearings. So anyway, and that's definitely my view on it as well, that just doing the brain and the body stuff is way more powerful and way more sustainable. So basically you can't do this shit by yourself, so you need to hire somebody, and whether that person is me, fab, whether it's not, I don't mind. Like, I'm just still here to be offering you the information, but I do invite you to really dig deep about, like, what are your limiting beliefs, what are your blockages, and where are you holding yourself back in getting the life of your dreams, because that is your doorway to discover so fucking much about you and clear your vessel so you can have the life of your fucking dreams. That is it from me today. I hope you have an amazing fucking day. I hope you got lots of nuggets from today, and I will talk to you next week, and I can't wait to talk to you if you decide to book in a discovery call. Oh, and if you don't want to do the business stuff, there's also my mastermind, my Feminine as Fuck mastermind, and we're starting the new one at the end of March. So if you are interested in my mastermind, the results have been incredible, and we're only up to our third week. Tonight's going to be our third call, and the results have already been mind-boggling. So if you are interested in that as well, and you're not a business owner, then I invite you to also check out that one, to really help you step into your confidence, your worthiness, your power, not let people cross your boundaries, all that jazz. You can read all about it on my website. I'll put the link in the description as well. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Well, thank you again for tuning in and listening to my podcast. I hope that you got lots of nuggets out of today's show. Please, I would be really grateful if you could leave me a review so that more women can find the podcast, and therefore I can help more women understand their period and fix their period problems. Because after all, it's a much nicer life to live when we actually love our cycle, because we do have to keep up with it every single month. Also, if you have any friends or loved ones that you think would enjoy my podcast, I'd be super grateful if you could send it to them as well, just to share the love. And that's it for now, so I will catch you on the flip side. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are.